Hello, welcome to Brap Life. My name is Angel. Thank you guys so much for listening every week. It is really cool to see how many people are continuing to download and how many people are telling their friends about this. It was awesome for me to go to an event a couple weeks ago and have people who have actually heard the podcast, and I met them at a completely different discipline. So that was really cool. But yeah, I really appreciate the fact that you guys are sharing this. It's helping grow the sport, and it's really awesome for the people who are coming on here. A lot of people are able to get sponsorships, and they're just kind of getting their name out there a little bit more, and I'm super excited about this. So I hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode. It's with KickstartAmber, if you know her from Instagram. She's a pretty big content creator, personality, and women's champion. She is huge on women's rides, and so it was really cool to finally connect with her. I actually met her at SMX a couple weeks ago. We've been talking on Instagram, though, for the last, I think it's been about almost 2 years. So it's kind of cool to finally meet in person, and hopefully we'll get to ride soon. So I hope you guys enjoy this episode, and I'll see you next week.
And we are official. Welcome to Brap Life.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on. This is awesome. I am so excited because we just talked about this. What has it been, 2 weeks already since we saw each other?
I think it'll be 2 weeks this weekend. Yeah,
that's crazy. I feel like it was just like yeah, I feel like it just happened. But for everybody listening, so basically I got this last minute invite to go to Super Motocross in Las Vegas, and I showed up and I was like looking around all lost because I've never been to one of these, and then all of a sudden I hear my name and it is Alexis and Amber. And so that was really cool. So we got to hang out and meet in real life, because I think we've been Facebook or Instagram friends for like
probably since I started.
Almost.
Yeah, feels like a lot longer.
Because it was right after you went viral. I think that's when I found you.
Probably.
So it was like right at the beginning. But yeah,
and in the whole city of Las Vegas, we found you.
I know, that's the crazy thing. I was like, because when I saw Alexis, I was like, what? I have this problem a lot when I travel, because I travel so much. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I'm supposed to know this person in this location, but sometimes I'm like, I feel like this is the wrong place for this face. So like, that was kind of what I was going through. And she's like, I'm Alexis from Instagram. And I was like,
two Utah girls found you.
And she said, Amber. I turned around and you're right there. And I was like, you guys are definitely in the wrong place.
Yeah, it was fun.
But that was fun. That was awesome. So, we got to walk around. We got to try to meet Ken Roxon together.
Yeah, he handed me an autograph. I saw him in the flesh.
Yeah.
Saw Barsha in the flesh.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He was so close. Like, dude, he was right there. Like,
I know.
We were a foot away from both of them, if even that.
If I could have just got a hug, that would have been really cool.
That would have just made the whole weekend.
Probably my whole life, honestly.
Very true. Dude, I was so excited, though. I felt kind of bad after you left. I went and watched the freestyle, and I actually ended up meeting Axel Hodges. So
you did?
That was,
oh my God.
It was freaking awesome. And I was like, he's like, do you have something for me to autograph? And I was like, no.
Am I sure? I don't know.
I didn't even think about asking for a picture because I didn't have anybody there to. No, somebody wanted to take it for me. And I don't really do selfies hardly. So like, I didn't think about that. And so I was just like, no, I don't have anything for you to sign. I just wanted to say you're awesome.
Do you see Vicky too?
I didn't get to talk to her. She was kind of hanging out in the back. I could see her, but I didn't talk to her. So.
That's so cool.
But I got to see her ride and do some really cool stuff. So that was like a dream come true, because I've wanted to see her ride for a couple years now. And so seeing her in person, like doing all this crazy stuff up in the air that was scaring me. I was like, oh my God, she's.
I know it's one thing on video. You see it in person. It's like, holy.
It's like, oh my God, dude, I can't believe they're getting so high. Again, like we always talk about, like, there needs to be some sort of mod for cameras to show what things really look like. I know. Like, I don't know if that's going to happen when we get like holograms and like VR one day, but like it needs to happen because people don't appreciate what these athletes do until you see it in person.
I think the 360 is probably the closest we're getting so far, especially for like trails too, but still.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy how good those cameras are. Like I've really been looking at those and man, I don't want to switch over because I have all of the, you know, gizmos and doodads for the GoPro, but man, that camera quality is so much higher. I really need to switch over.
You'll love it.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
I know. I'm just trying to find somebody I can steal it from instead.
You could borrow mine. Maybe in Warner Valley, you can borrow mine if we ever meet up.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Oh, we will. We will. We've got
when we meet up down there.
It's gonna happen. Like I have to get back there. I need redemption on that freaking trail.
I wonder which one it was.
Like, so it was out past Dino Tracks. We went across the way, like to the next set of mesas. And then there was like a really steep downhill and it's like single track. And then it's a very steep, scary uphill. And it is like you drop down into the canyon and come back up. And it is freaking terrifying.
I have not been on that one.
It's all single track out there. And then it leads up to like this crazy section where you can go down the easy way or you can go up this crazy spire thing and then come down that. And thankfully, like I had ridden with this guy, like I think maybe twice before that. And he's like, let me go check it out. He goes, if I can do it and I think you can do it, I will come back and I will do it with you. So that way we don't hold up the rest of the group. And I was like, okay, cool. And when he was coming down it, I could just see the look on his face. And I was like, oh, I'm not doing that. I'm so glad I did.
So that's a no. We got to love those trail assistants, the trail scouts.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is that like we met up with like a group out there of like it was a total mixed group because there was some hard enduro people, but then we met up with some people who we just found out there too. And so we had some of those people in the group. So nobody knew us. We were the only two people who knew each other in that specific group. And so it was kind of like gauging off of abilities based on
like a variety of levels.
Yeah. And I was the lowest level. That's usually the case. But I was the lowest level. And so I was like struggling. But the thing about me is that like when I'm out there, I'm going to keep pushing. So I'll push all day. I will literally physically walk my bike down stuff if I need to. And I mean, I went down this scary ass canyon thing. But I made it up the other side. That part was easier in comparison. It just is visually intimidating because like you're going down a single track. Like if you were for some reason to fall to the right instead of to the left, which I don't know why you would, but if you did, you've got about half a foot to fall onto. And then it's like a pretty steep drop for like 100 feet. So I was like,
those damn downhills.
They get you. They really get you. But that was one of the biggest pushes for me to really start working on that. That and riding at Jawbone Canyon in oh my God, I can't talk. In California. Those two have some of the worst downhills that I've ever experienced.
Oh, I have seen those videos of Jawbone Canyon. Yeah, I've seen people out there. I'm trying to say it fast, so my mouth like can't catch up. Yeah, I've seen those. Those are nasty. I've commented on people's stuff before because like people will post hill climbs all the time. I'm like, post your downhill. That's what I'm impressed with. Show me your downhill.
The uphills can be super, super gnarly though. Like some of the stuff that my buddies do are absolutely insane. And again, going back to that whole video factor, like you can't see all of the rock ledges and stuff that are in these climbs that these guys are doing.
Nope,
and they're making
smooth.
it look so smooth. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like y'all can't appreciate just how crazy it is. So I've gotten pretty decent at like when I'm there and like the guys are doing a gnarly climb, I can usually get a decent enough angle to make it like to show the terrain. And I think that's why I was getting invited along in the beginning, because it definitely wasn't for my skill. But you know, I told my buddy Cody, I was like, with me, it's like a package deal, right? Like I have like the ultimate friendship. So you invite me along on the ride, you get entertainment because you get to watch me struggle. You get to be proud of me when I make it through something unexpectedly. And then you get videos of you doing cool stuff all day. So it's like a total package deal.
Yeah. For me, if you come along, you get Nerds Gummies. So
I mean, that might be better. Maybe I need to
Nerds Gummies and a workout. You get a workout helping me pick up my bike.
So funny. I can't tell you how many times I have been sent that video that you made about like my body doesn't produce Nerds Gummies, and I'm like, hey, I know her.
Oh my gosh. Funny. It's insane. You should, if you just like have a second to read those comments, they're so ridiculous.
You get some crazy comments on your stuff.
Oh, you should see some of my first videos I put out. I almost quit. It was bad. It's all men.
That's the thing that I'm talking about. So like when you first started, I remember there was like one hill climb video that you did. It was like a little hill, and you were so excited when you first started doing like you were doing enduro, and you were so excited.
It was a big deal for me.
And people were ripping on you. And
honestly,
that's
probably the worst.
It made me not want to post anything of my riding. Honestly, I was like, I'm not going to put myself out there like that. Like, I'm not going to, like, people are mean. And so I didn't post anything of me riding. Like, I'd post a picture of where I was at or whatever, but I was like, no one's going to take video of me riding. Like, that is not going to be a thing. It's not going to, I can't handle it. And then when I finally did start posting, I had already kind of started making friends in the hard enduro community. And like those guys legitimately, like, it took a while before I got any like haters. And then when I did, those guys like ambushed the people who were saying it. And they're like, you don't even know what you're talking about. And you're like, you have no clue. Just shut the hell up. And I was like, aw, thanks.
Okay, cool. I'm just gonna go ride now. Like,
yeah, it's like, oh my god, it's crazy.
Don't even know you, but you're tearing me a new one on the internet.
Yeah. So like,
I just kept doing it because I knew for the girls who were commenting, that's why I kept posting, because they were saying, oh, it's not just me. Like, I can do this too, you know, if she can, I can type of thing. And I'm like, that's why I keep doing this. Not for you fucking assholes.
That is exactly my thing now. It's like, okay, all right, hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's go back. Let's rewind.
Okay.
How did you get started riding in the first place? Let's start there and talk about that, and then we'll talk about your going viral and come back to this topic. So
okay. It was the year 2022. Actually, exactly 3 years this month ago.
Really?
I'd started, so it'll be 3 years this month. I started dating Kyle, who's my boyfriend now, and he grew up riding track. He's in the power sport industry. That's where he works. And he just was like, hey, I found you a dirt bike. I'm going to buy it. I'm like, what? Do what? I was like, I've never ridden. Like, I don't know about this. Yeah. So he on Facebook, he bought me I think it was a 2005 Honda CRF 150F, which was like the perfect beginner bike. Yeah, so that's what I started on.
And what was it like your first time on the bike? Do you remember?
I remember being scared. I have pictures. Like, I had a helmet. I think I just borrowed one of his helmets. I wore like hiking boots, jeans, a t-shirt, like I didn't really have much yet, but at least a helmet and boots. And we just went out somewhere in the desert and just kind of rode on flat ground. The clutch was hard to figure out. The throttle scared me. It was loud. It was scary. Yeah, I don't know. It was fun, but I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to be okay just kind of putting her out on the road and wide open spaces. This will be enough for me. And he eventually got a bike. He got a WR 250. And I'm like, there's no way I will ever want a bike that big. Why would I ever need a bike that big? I don't want to do any of that. That's terrifying. And look at me now.
I know. I was going to say, you've come such a long way from that.
I know. It was crazy. We tried to get the kids into it, and meh.
And that was no-go?
Well, not really. My son...
So, did Kyle teach you how to ride then?
Yeah, he taught me. Learning from your partner. I'm just gonna...
That face! Oh my God.
Blanket phrase.
This is a thing. This is 100% a thing. And I think we've talked about it so many times on this podcast, and it's always women who say that learning from your partner is the worst thing that you could do.
It can be, it's basically like relationship building skills. Because you're doing something that's scary, you're in your most vulnerable state. Your brain, your body, everything is like, and then you got someone telling you what to do and what you're doing wrong and what you should do. And it's not just a coach, it's someone you live with and like love and stuff. So you have to be nice. And I don't know, like I've had many a meltdown on the trail with him.
See, my experience was like when I first started riding, my ex-husband, he didn't really teach me. He was kind of like, here's your clutch, here's your brake, go. And he didn't show me where the shifter was. So I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I knew what a clutch was, but...
He has taught me so well, though. Like, a lot of the arguments are my own ego and me getting mad at myself. So like if I'm getting like cussing and crying, I'm just pissed at myself and my limitations or whatever. But he's a really good teacher. Like my friends will be like, gosh, your form looks awesome, and tease me about it because my elbows are like, but it made a difference because like from the very beginning, he's like, put your fingers on your controls, stand up, squeeze your bike. Like he ingrained all of that in me. So I never like learned bad habits. Now if I have bad habits, it's my own fault, but he at least ingrained into me what to do from the beginning and how to be safe about it too. So
yeah, that's good.
So I appreciate him for that. Yeah.
I don't know what it is about learning from your partner, but so many people find that it's a lot harder to learn from your partner. It's like, for some reason, you take all the criticism personally, and it's not meant to be personal. Yeah. It's meant so you can learn.
Yeah.
But for some reason, when it's coming from the person that, like, I mean, I haven't had, like, you know, my ex didn't really teach me. But I did have somebody who I was, like, crushing on hardcore, and he was trying to teach me, and I took everything personally. And I was like, I cannot ride with people that I like. Like, I can't do this.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. I have to remind myself, like, he's just trying to help. Don't take it personally.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, I don't know what it is that makes us do that, but it's like I said, it's all been women who are just like, I can't learn from my husband or I can't learn from my boyfriend. but he's a really good teacher. He teaches really well to other people, but I can't personally learn from him. So it's really cool, kind of cool to hear something a little bit different, that yes, you guys have issues with it, but it's not necessarily that like you're taking it personally from what he's saying. It sounds more like it's just you getting frustrated because you can't just enact
it's definitely, it's definitely me.
100% get that, because like when I'm out with the boys and they take me to like a crazy section that's hard for me, it's not hard for them, but you know, they're talking me through it. And sometimes, like, I remember this one time I was with Mitch and Cody and I was stuck in this section and they're telling me stuff and I'm like, you guys, it is not that I'm trying to ignore you and what you're saying. I really want to do what you're saying. I promise I do. And I know I'm not. I'm thinking that I'm doing it, but I know that the outcome isn't what you're telling me to do. I'm not trying to be stupid. I just physically cannot do it anymore. Like, we were at the end of the day.
I had that happen too.
Exhausted.
Yeah, he'll just be like, well, you just do this, or you just pop the clutch or do this. And I'm like, I don't know how to do that. Or like, have you seen my legs? Like, I can't do what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. That's been the biggest thing. That's the one thing that will frustrate me, is when most of the guys that I ride with are like 6 foot plus, right? Oh and gosh. So they're like, I hate the phrase just. So just put your foot down. Just do this. And I'm like, I can't just do that. Like, I have about 3 feet.
Everything takes a lot more. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I do have a couple guys that I ride with who are under 6 feet. And I love riding with them because even though they're way taller than me, they still understand the concept of not being able to reach in the same spots that the other guys do. Yeah. So, like, they can kind of like, they have their little modifications. And again, even though they're 8-9 inches taller than me, they're still able to kind of give me a reference. Like, all right, here's what I do. Might not work for you still, but at least they have that idea in their head that I can't just put my foot down in a certain spot.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think everybody has their own cues and way to teach other people. Mm-hmm. And some people click and some people don't. And so it's like, I know you're telling me something, but I need you to try to rephrase it because that's not my language.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there was a guy I rode with a couple weeks ago, and his style of teaching was very patronizing. I was not a fan of this man. Yeah, it was not a good ride.
That would not be fun at all.
It was the worst ride that I've been on in probably like a year and a half. Just because of the person, not necessarily because of the ride. The ride itself was amazing. It was very scary for me, but yeah, I ended up cutting out early actually because I didn't feel safe with that guy around. Like, he was just getting way too close to me on exposure and like stuff that I just wasn't comfortable. So,
holy crap.
But I know my limits, and I know that I'm not going to put myself in that kind of situation, you know, unless I absolutely have to. I had to finish that trail, but I opted not to go to the next trail. I was like, I'm just going to go back to the car. Like, I'm done.
Yeah. And you got to know your limits.
Yeah, so. Exactly. And I, you know, that was my second day in a row of riding hard stuff. Hard for me stuff. You know, it's not super hard. It's not like we were doing hard enduro that second day. We weren't really doing hard enduro the first day. But the first day we were doing a lot of single track that was really loose rocks. And it was a lot of downhill single track with loose rocks. And then I fell into a cactus. And so, oh my gosh. You know, it was just like, it was a rough day. And then so day number 2 comes around and I'm already exhausted. And then you add this abrasive personality, and this person is just like constantly, like, at one point he literally said, "Do you even know how to use a clutch?" And I was like, seriously? I was like, yeah, I do.
What's his name? I'm gonna hunt him down.
He does not live around here. It's fine. But yeah, it was really it was a good reminder of why I've been riding with the people that I've been riding with. And it just highlighted the fact that these guys are freaking golden. These guys have taken me under their wing. They threw me into hard enduro when I thought I wasn't going to be ready for it for at least another year. And they've taken the time and been patient with me. And that's the biggest thing, is they are so patient with me. And it's not just like Cody or Mitch, it's the whole group. It's like Cody had me go on a ride with him. Mitch couldn't make it. And his friend Serge and his friend Ryan showed up, and I was like, oh, these are 3 guys who are good. Like, this could be a terrible time. I was like, did you warn them like about my skill level? He's like, oh, it's fine, whatever.
Yeah.
So we went out, and like, I was thinking, because these guys are serious about their training time, I was thinking that they were going to get frustrated if I fell. And the first time I fell, I went over the bars. They all were super calm, super chill. And I was like, okay, that was the first time, like, stop it, like, focus in, like, you've got to do well. And I was struggling. Like, I was like, I made it up this one hill almost completely to the top. And then I got like kind of excited. And I let go of my clutch a little bit too early. And then I started to go backwards. And then I ended up falling sideways. And I was like, okay, no pre-celebrations, just focus in. I was like getting frustrated because I didn't want them to have a bad time, because I don't know these guys, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know how people are. And so I didn't know how they were going to react to my skill level. And they were just totally fine. They were totally chill, patient. Like, they both kept coming back. When Cody was like leading, they would come back and they would check on me and like, hey, do you need help picking up your bike? And I'm like, I'm very stubborn about trying to pick up my own bike out on the trail. Like, I will do it if I can, unless it's a safety thing. But yeah, it was really cool to have that support and have them just be so great. So like, everybody around these guys is like that, but this was not in that group. This is in a different group. And I was like, okay, that just makes those guys seem even better now. Like, they are absolute gold. You
gotta find a girl group next.
Well, and that's the thing, is I have some amazing ladies that I ride with here in Arizona. We've got a huge group in Arizona that rides. Amazing women out here.
Is there a group for like y'all?
Yeah.
Y'all have like a group, like an Instagram group or something?
Yep. Yeah. Well, I think it's on Facebook. I don't know if it's on Instagram. I'll have to look at Instagram. But yeah, we do. It's the Arizona Moto. I think it's Arizona Moto Women. Okay. But it's a really large group, and they do, like, I think November, I want to say 15th and 16th is the ladies ride that they host. They host a yearly ladies ride. So I went last year when I first came out here. It was like I want to say it was my first weekend, maybe my second weekend out here. And so I went out to it, and I didn't know anybody. I had met Cindy once. And so I was a little nervous, but I ended up making some really good friends. One of my best friends, Rebecca, I met her through that group. And even though we've only ridden together like 2, maybe 3 times, she's still one of my best friends, and I check in with her like all the time. I'm like, I absolutely love this.
That's great.
But I want to try and find a way to get like more women from Arizona to come out to the St. George area when I decide to go. And like, I want to try and get like a women's ride together. Kind of like a travel ride. So go there or go to California and like have a destination kind of thing. So I know, like, Babes in the Dirt does stuff, and you know, there's a lot of women's groups who do it that are bigger groups, but
and that's great, but not everybody has $1,000 to spend on an event when you could just find someone who lives in the area and put something together
and do it. Exactly. So it's a lot cheaper if you can just go, and you know, if you're willing to car camp or tent camp, it might be a little chilly, but you know, it's a really, really good time. Like, and for me, my biggest thing is that a lot of women, and I'm interested actually to see how you feel about this. A lot of women are afraid to go and ride away from their partner. because that's all you've known, right? And
yeah,
it's
I
really
actually just ran into
thing.
that the other day. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so explain it from your side.
So let's see. I'm trying to remember my first ride without him. I think the first time, so I didn't have any friends at first, and then it's just me and him. Well, dirt bike friends. I didn't know anything about this community. I didn't know anybody. It was from scratch. So he was the only person I had. So that's why we rode together. And he was like teaching me and stuff. And just, I met some girlfriends, but he would still come with me. And then eventually it was like he kind of waited in the parking lot while I went for a little ride, because back then my rides were pretty short anyways.
Yeah.
So I like rode while he hung out in the parking lot kind of area. And then I don't know, at some point I had my first girls ride. I think once I felt confident, I wanted to feel confident enough in knowing my bike, how to pick it up, basic things like trail side fixes, so that I'd be okay by myself. I think that's when I decided I was ready to graduate. But I really think that was in just a couple months. Like, I think I was still on my Honda when I did my first ride by myself with friends. But the other day I was trying to get some girls together to ride, and a guy messaged me and was like, hey, when are you going? Because I think my wife would really like this. And he's like, I'm going to try to convince her, but she doesn't like to go without me. And I'm like, if it makes her more comfortable, you can come with her the first time and get to know us, and then we'll go from there. But we usually try to select groups where everybody kind of has a bit of knowledge about everything. So we're all like a well-rounded group, and we trust each other when I'm riding with people. So but
it's a really hard thing to move away when you get into this with your partner, to move away from that kind of, I don't really want to say trust, because it's not moving away from trust, but it's like you said, it's like venturing out on your own, right? It's like being a kid, right? You got to go out on your own sometime. And you don't have to, but a lot of us should.
It's more fun.
I think every woman should go out on a girl's ride, because
I love my girls' rides.
It's a very different experience than it is like riding with the guys.
It is so much different.
I spend most of my time riding with the guys, and do not get me wrong, I love my boys. But it is very different, and it's just a fun, like almost like a party atmosphere with women, and it's the camaraderie. You know all of the issues that the other women are going through, like, oh my God, I had a hair in my bra, and oh my God, it was bothering the crap out of me, and now I've got to get it out, and nobody's gonna judge me doing that out on the trail. You know what I mean? Like, when I fell into the cactus, like I was telling you, I was with two guys, and I was like, I'm wearing leggings as I'm pulling my pants down. I'm like, I'm wearing leggings, but like I have to do this because I fell like face first into the cactus. So like my whole, like from chest down to like my knees essentially was covered in cactus. So I had to get it out.
And like I was saying this the other day, but it just feels like, to me, it's more of a judgment-free zone, because I feel like when I'm riding with my partner, it's almost a lesson every time I'm riding. And I'm like having to be perfect about everything.
Yeah.
But with the girls, they're like, I don't care if you're sitting. I don't care if you're like doing this or that. Who cares? You want to take another break? Sure. Let's chit chat for 30 minutes on the side of the trail. We don't need to go. Like, we're having fun. Let's take a few pictures.
With
the guys, with the guys, it's like, we've got to go. Why are we out here if we're not riding? Like, I'm here to hang out.
I think that's definitely a big difference, that we are a little bit more social. And I think that it kind of depends on the group too, because I've been in a couple groups where the guys are the social ones, and I'm like,
really?
I'm the one who's like, you guys, let's go. Like, come on, let's do this. Like, but that's more because like I get excited about where we are and like the terrain, and I'm like, this is the coolest thing. Like, I need to see more of it. And with me being in so many different places. I think that that's been part of it. Is like, I had told my buddy the other day, I was like, it's weird to be able to go back to the same places and ride them and see the progression, because I haven't had that up until this point. Like, the stuff that I rode when I first got my bike is in Maine. And, you know, like, it's kind of hard to, like, you know, gauge when I was in Maine for 2 months or 3 months, and then I was in Tennessee, and then I was in Georgia, and then I was in all of these different places. So you can't really just go back and be like, oh yeah, this one time I sucked on this hill and this time I conquered it. Like,
yeah,
I don't have that ability. I have it a little bit. I had it a little bit when I was in Tennessee and North Carolina. I went back to the same hills like 2 times, but that was it. You know, and in such a short time, you don't have a whole lot of progression to make it that much better. So now being out here, it's been almost a year, but since I started riding in California, it's been about 7 months. And so being able to go back to those same spots and see the progression, see the fact that I can go up and down a hill that absolutely terrified me before. Like, and I was going up this hill and I was like, dude, this is so much fun. And I got to the top and I was like, this is the hill that Cody and Griff brought me to. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, I remember being up there and just shaking. And they were like, dude, you got this. Like, it's going to be okay. And I was like, no, I'm just going to like eat shit going down this hill. Like, it's going to be terrible. But
yeah, I love those benchmark trails.
Times. Like, yeah, it was so cool. So that's kind of why I want to go back to St. George. I want to be like, I conquered it this time instead of just floundering and making it.
There's a few out there I look at as benchmark trails, and then I have quite a few canyons in the mountains that are my benchmarks too.
Yeah.
So it's cool. Yeah, each year to go back and see how you do.
That's awesome. So
I've definitely made a lot more progress on this bike than the past 2. So
it's been a big change for you. That was actually going to be my next question, was how has it been since you switched bikes?
Amazing. I think I'm actually, I don't want to say it, but I think I'm actually getting a little lazy with this bike, because I had the 150, which I mean, it was good. It was basic, whatever. But then I had a YZ 125, which is a motocross bike. And I was trying to have it identify as a trail bike. And I pushed that thing and used the hell out of that clutch. And it did some crazy stuff. And I learned so much on that bike. And because I really had to work for everything I did. Every hill climb was like, I had to work so hard to make it up there. So now that I'm on a 300, she's just like just wants to eat everything. And I'm just like lazy boy in it. And so I'm like, that route's no problem. I'll just sit through it. Like, so I love it. It's great. But I gotta get my shit back together and start standing and doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Kyle calls me out all the time.
Funny.
He's like, you just sit all the time now. You're getting lazy. He's like, should we get a cushy seat for you?
Oh my God. That's
because
so
we
funny,
shaved my seat.
Yeah, I've had the opposite experience where I feel like moving to the 300, I have to do more work.
Ow.
Not necessarily like because of the well, it could also be all the stuff that I'm going through too. But like, I feel like I'm moving on that bike all the time. I don't feel like I can sit down. I think I sat down on the last ride I was on when we were on some 2-track, and I sat down for a minute because I was like dead tired from 3 days of riding. But I feel like I have to move all the time, forward, backward, side to side, because I'm like going through rocks and I have to like literally be with like my leg almost up here on the seat, and I'm just like way like this, like hanging off the side, and so it's just kind of funny that you said that. I don't know. Maybe it's the the terrain and
it's
not
comfortable. I also sit when I'm scared.
Yeah.
So some of it is that, like, big chunky
I just
rocks
commit to the
and
fall.
stuff. I get scared, so
yeah. No,
if
and
it's stuff that, yeah, if it's stuff that's gonna take some technique to get through, then I'm standing. But that bike just eats and eats and eats and chugs, and I know it's just gonna roll over anything I give it. So I just get lazy, but I'll get back. Or maybe I just need harder trails now because I'm getting too lazy about stuff and too complacent.
There you
I don't know.
There you go. Start
maybe that's the
real
problem.
hard enduro.
I gotta challenge myself some more.
Exactly. I think that's one of the biggest things for me is that I'm just constantly trying to find harder stuff. And where I live, I'm thankful and also hate it at the same time. It is very technical out here. There's a lot of rocks and there's a lot of there's not a lot of traction anywhere you go out here. So it's forcing me to learn a lot.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess it depends on where you are and kind of what your goals are. Because I was told recently that because I was like, dude, I've been off the bike for like 2 weeks. This sucks. Like, it's probably going to be at least another week, if not longer. And I was like freaking out about it. And they're like, dude, you act like this is your job. Like, you don't need to train all the time. And I'm like, no, but like, I feel like I'm making up for lost time. So like, while I have the ability, I don't have kids. I don't have a partner. All I do is I run and I work and I ride my bike. So
yeah,
like, it's hard not having one of those things right now.
Yeah. Yep. I feel my shock was out for a while and I had to drop $750 on it. Mm-hmm. Couldn't ride. And everybody's like, this is why I have multiple bikes. I'm like, that must be nice. That must be nice. What's that like?
I know. My buddy has like 4 or 5 bikes. And I said something about not having a bike. And he's like, well, why don't you just get one of your other ones? I'm like, I don't have other ones like some people. And he's like, well, you should probably fix that. I'm like, where am I going to keep it?
Let me just come up with thousands of dollars.
Yeah, which like I could probably like afford it, but I'm kind of frugal. And you know, I have like all these other things that I've been trying to pay for. Like I have all this travel and I had a lot of like behind the scenes stuff for podcast stuff and like trying to get travel to Romaniacs for next year and all of these things. And I'm like, I could probably afford it if I rein back a little bit on some of those things. But also, like, what am I going to do with 2 bikes? Like, on a daily, what am I going to do? In these times like this, like, it's fine. But, and then he's like, well, you should get a trials bike. And then this goes back to your point about challenge. Well, that's a really good way to cross train. That's a really great way to learn and make sure you're not getting lazy with your technique because you cannot do it wrong. I mean, you can do it wrong on a trials bike, but it's going to show you what you're doing wrong.
Or you could get a mountain bike. That's like a good cross training tool too, apparently.
That is very true.
Although I went mountain biking for my first time a few weeks ago and it was scary.
So scary. I went mountain biking in Minnesota, which doesn't have a mountain. So I went like hill biking. And like that was fine, but I didn't like they weren't big hills. They were like very, very small, like 20-foot hills. And so like, you know, it was more road biking. And I did that.
Yeah, this was mountains.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I've seen some of the like mountain bike trails because I've run on mountain bike trails before. And I'm like, I can't imagine going down this on a bicycle. Like bicycles terrify me. Is that weird?
Yeah, well, it forces it. For me, it was because it was so fast. There's no engine. There's no nothing.
Yes.
And you have to hold your feet weird. There's no pegs. It's just like a weird pedal situation. And it's all downhill. So I'm forced to do what I hate doing, which is downhills. Yep. And it's switchback downhills the whole time. And they're tight switchbacks.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this would be great for training because it's forcing me to learn how to go down these fast downhills and these switchbacks, which I need for mountain riding. So definitely was a lot. It was definitely nice to drop it and pick it up really easy though. But
the one time in California that I tried to go out with my friend, I borrowed a bicycle and it was like an e-bike. So it had like a thumb thing that like had a little bit of assist to it because she's like, otherwise we're never going to make it out there. And I was like, thanks. But
I mean, I rode the lift, luckily.
Yeah, well, it was just like near her house, and so we went out into like the desert, and she starts like going up this like rocky hill, and I'm like, I haven't been on a bicycle in God knows how many years. Like, I don't know what I'm doing, and you're gonna take me up rocks. So we went up the rocks, and I like put my feet down, and I walked up. But when we were coming back, I did not remember that there was a rock section there. And when we went down it, I made it down it. And then I slid on some rocks and I crashed. When I crashed, I jacked up my knee super bad. So, yeah, it put me out for like a week and a half. And that was the last time I tried to mountain bike.
Gosh, that's another thing. I wore like my dirt bike gear because I was so scared. Like I wore my actual helmet.
I wore a regular bicycle helmet, and that was it. And
I wore like my knees, elbows, chest. I wore everything. So I was like, I'm not messing around.
Yeah, she's like, no, we're just gonna go out. It's not gonna be a big deal. Like, we're just gonna go out. Like, you don't wear that stuff for this. And I was like, there's no protection. I have nothing between me and the ground right now. Like, that's where, like, when I fall on my bike, there's a big old bike between me and the ground, or me and the cactus, or me and the rock, you know, there's a lot there. And on a bicycle, it is like nothing.
Nope. So, yeah, it was definitely really weird.
Yeah.
I prefer the dirt
bike. I try and do things that I don't feel comfortable with. So I think I need to get a bike, but I want to get a trials bike first. I'll get a trials bike first, and then I'll work on a mountain bike. It's like, I know more people that do trials riding, and like I could go out and do trials riding with my friends versus I know one person who does mountain biking.
Well, and mountain biking, like especially if you're wanting to do at the ski resorts and stuff, it's a lot of money. So
really?
Because if you're doing it at the ski resorts, like you got to pay the pass and everything. We had to pay a pass to go up the lift to take us. So
that sounds not fun.
It was fun just to do it, like to rent some bikes, but I don't think I'd ever want to buy any. And I do not want to pedal uphill ever. So
yeah, I was very glad to have the assist that day because I was like, oh,
we had just plain bikes. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was running a lot. At the time, I was clocking in probably between 50 and 60 miles a week on running. But I got on that bicycle and I was like, this is using different muscles. Like, I don't know what these muscles are, but these are not the same muscles.
It was like all my quads, I felt. Whatever my foot forward or, I don't know, like whichever one I wasn't putting my weight on, I probably was doing it wrong. But one of them, my quad was like on fire.
Well, and then I was like, I don't understand the gears on it. Like, the gears don't make any sense to me.
I know. So I was just like, I probably went through that whole brake pad. I know. I was just like, why do I work out? This feels ridiculous. That's how I feel on my dirt bike. I'm like, I work out like 4 days a week and I'm out of breath right now.
Oh, I run ridiculous distances, but on my dirt bike, I have found out that I hold my breath a lot.
I do too.
And so, like, I get through a section and I'm like breathing hardcore. My buddy's like, dude, it wasn't even that hard. I'm like, I was holding my breath. So
when I'm scared or I'm focusing, I'll hold my breath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So It's not a good thing. Remember to breathe. That's what he started telling me. He's like, breathe. As I'm like starting to go down the hill. Make sure you breathe. Okay.
I have started singing a little bit when I'm riding. That helps me. So I like listen to music, and if I'm nervous, I'll try to like sing through it.
I started singing my own little song, because like I always say, like when I'm going through like hard stuff, right? Because I do that all the time. I started telling myself I do hard things for fun. And when I was at TKO, it was kind of really cool because my friend Amanda and her girlfriend Jen were there, and they were like watching me struggle bus through this like enduro cross section. And I'm just sitting there staring at this thing going, I do hard things for fun. I do hard things for fun. It's like my mantra to like pump myself up. And I hear her just screaming, and she's just like, I see you, Angel. She's like, yeah, you do hard things for fun. And it felt like a movie, like where, you know, like the like music is going to start playing. And like, then I went and I hit it. And like, that was when I made it over. So I was like, oh my God, this is like the coolest thing that's ever happened.
That's so cool.
Ever since then, I've started to like sing song it when I'm on the trail. And so like the last time I was riding, it was with that dude that I was telling you about. And I was just like, okay, I've got to like focus in, and I can hear him over the music yelling things at me. And so I was just like, I do hard things for fun. And I was just like trying to make my own
guy.
Kind of, yeah. And I was just like, da, 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 da. But yeah, I honestly like, it's kind of terrible because I record myself on GoPro, right? So I have all of these videos now that I'm like, I'm not going to post this. Like,
you should. People would love it.
Like,
oh, have you seen that mountain bike girl? Her post went crazy.
No.
The one that's like, I've got a fast bike, but I'm going to ride it at a moderate pace. Yeah, hers went crazy. So you should try yours.
When I come up with like an actual like tune for it, maybe I'll like copyright it, you know, put it out there. Everybody can
put it on Spotify.
That's my new get rich quick scheme. Turning my phrase into a song.
I'll listen to it.
Thank you.
I want to just hear you like yelling in my ear. You do hard things for fun. I'm like,
I say that, and my other thing that I say all the time now when I'm writing is that I say, what's the best that could happen? Because I used to say, what's the worst that could happen? As I'm going through a section with the guys, they're going like, mock, holy shit. And so I'm trying to keep up, and I'm like seeing whatever it is. And then in my head, I'm going, okay, what's the worst that could happen as I'm about to hit it? And then now I'm envisioning myself falling down the cliff. So what's going to happen? I'm going to fall down the cliff. So instead, I switched it over and I started saying, what's the best that could happen? So now as I'm about to hit this thing, I'm saying that. And then I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to make it up and over this. And 9 times out of 10, I make it up and over. So it's been a really, really great tool for me to like visualize and just to have a really, really good, solid mindset when I'm out there. I'm still working on it on exposure. I get a little scared on that still, but I've gotten a lot better about it.
I get a lot scared on exposure, and you can't avoid it in the mountains out here. So
no, yeah, and riding in California, you cannot. Oh, even here in Arizona, there's a lot of exposure. Anywhere west, honestly. And it was funny because I was talking to a friend of mine about this, and I was like, dude, I feel like I rode mountains in the East Coast, but I never knew it because I'm being hugged by trees, essentially.
Yeah.
So you don't have that same, like, oh, I can fall for 80 years down this mountain right now. Like, you don't know how far you're going to fall. And even if you do fall, there's a tree or a bush or something to catch you. So it's not.
The last ride I did, we actually came back in the dark, and I was worried because I was like, I do not want to do that section in the dark because it is exposed. Yeah. And because it was pitch black and I could only see what my light was hitting, I wasn't scared because I couldn't see all the shit around me, so all I could focus on was the trail. And I'm like, this is actually easier in the dark because I'm not scared.
I feel like that would be harder. I feel like that would scare me so much more not seeing anything.
It's kind of creepy riding in the dark. I get like, I'm like, something's gonna pop out. But it's fun. Have you done it yet?
No, I don't have a headlight anymore.
I use the Oxbow ones. They're really great.
The what?
Oxbow. It's called Oxbow. Oxbow. They sell lights, and the one I use, I have like a GoPro, like the GoPro mount thingy, you know? And then you just put the light on it, and then it just shines off my helmet. And the cord comes out the back, and I put it in my backpack.
Oh.
And it is bright. Cool. It's really bright. Some people put it on the side, but I like the front. Then you can just adjust. But yeah, I just keep it in my pack because it's small and it packs up nice. And I bring it with me on these mountain rides, especially after work, because it gets dark so quick. So, but night rides are fun. Everything is trippy. Like all the shadows are trippy. Your depth perception is off. It's fun.
I could imagine that would be good training, though. Like it is cool. A totally different animal. So it would probably be really good. I just have to get a headlight because I don't have one. It has been gone since like March.
Yeah, and I finally, like, I have never had a light on my bike until I finally got an enduro bike, and I haven't even used the light on that bike. Because when I bought it, the wiring harness or something was wrong with it. And we're like, well, we all know those lights are junk anyway. So everybody just uses aftermarket, like, lights on their body and stuff because the lights on the actual bike are usually junk. Or they don't point where you want them to point. They're not pointing where you're looking.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I've heard. I think it was Brad Roberts had posted a video. He was doing like a review of one of the lights or something like that, and he was talking about that, like how he prefers a helmet light because
because like my head is
exactly, it's what you're looking at versus where your bike is pointing, and you know your bike's not always pointing in the direction that you're about to go, and then all of a sudden you're in a tree.
Yeah, I love that light. You should check it out.
Yeah. So I did want to touch base on, you rode a race, which I know you're not big on races, right? Yeah. So what is your race history like?
Oh my gosh. I'm going to pop these things out laughing so hard at this story. So here's what happened. Is this the hill video you were talking about earlier, or was it? I had like 2 hill videos that I got 8 up on.
I don't remember.
The race, was it the race hill that I posted?
I don't think it was the race hill.
Okay.
I think
I posted that one. It was bad. Anyways, so I had been on that Honda for a year. Then I got the YZ 125. I had been on the YZ twice and then took it to a race in Mesquite. I've never raced in my life. I had like a year and some change of experience of riding at all. And the Gypsy 500, they advertised through Verb Moto and said that it was going to be a fun race for everybody and anybody can do it. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be a good time. And it's a team race. So I'm like, it's a team race. It sounds fun. Let's do it. Oh, God. So I show up with Farah, Alexis, and Megan were on my team. And then Kyle had his team too. And there were pros there. Vicky Golden was there. I think Cody Webb did that one. Did he do that one? I think one of the Abbotts did it.
I know he's done a couple, so yeah.
Yeah, there was like, and we all went at the same time. There were not different heats. I was on the track with Vicky Golden. So it was like, I don't even know. So one of our girls dropped out because she was like, once we got there and we saw what was happening, she was like, absolutely not. I am not racing this. This is dangerous. This is idiotic. We're on this track with 450s who are like full of like piss and vinegar, and they're gonna kill us. So Alexis, like bless her heart, she started for us because one person from our team had to start. And the start went in waves, and it was just like a starting line. There weren't like gates or anything. So she started, and I think she tipped over in the first corner, poor thing. We were like one of a handful of females on the entire track too, by the way. Like, we should not have been there. And so she did her lap. I can't remember if she did the off-road loop. Have you been to Mesquite track, the motocross track?
No.
So
I've never been to a motocross track.
I hadn't either.
Not to ride.
I've never been on one at all till this. So this course was composed of the main track, the vet track, and an off-road loop, like miles of an off-road loop, and which was like all sand. So Alexis, I want to say she did the track. I don't think she made it to off-road. But there's a hill climb that when we got there, we were like, okay, there's the hill. We're not doing that hill. Fuck that hill, because we're going to die if we do that hill. And we like strategically like saw where you could duck out of it at the bottom. We're like, don't do it. So of course, when it's my turn to go, I hop in, I like get into the course, and I make it to the hill. And I thought it was the next hill. So I tried to go up this hill, and I tried to go up this thing like 3 times from like a dead stop, because I still didn't know what I was doing on this bike. And I like crashed like twice going up of it. And that probably was the most scared I've ever been on a dirt bike, was on that hill, because those guys were like flying past me on their 450s. And I'm like, if they hit a rock or something, because there's also rocks in it. Yeah, I was like, if they hit me, I'm going to die.
I think so. I remember that video. Yeah.
Finally, this sweet flagger dude like sees me bawling my eyes out and comes and gets me. And it's a kickstart bike, so I had to kick this thing every fucking time, and it was flooding and everything. Oh my god! So the flagger like helps me get up, but then once you get up this hill, it like immediately curves and goes straight downhill, and it is nasty and rutted, and I walked that whole thing down, and it was terrifying. And
poor thing.
There was like a section of an enduro, like a plan B enduro section if you wanted to do it instead of a portion of the track, but I wasn't at that level yet, so I didn't do it. But Kyle, my boyfriend, he's like, do not go do the off-road loop. Only stick to the track, because that off-road loop is like so fucked from everybody who's been on it, and it's all sand, and there's like hidden rocks in it. He's like, don't go out there. He was dying. His team was dying. Like, he was nauseous. He was so scared. It was bad. So it was not a fun race for anybody. It was not advertised well. And we didn't even get our free hot dogs after, because they said there's going to be free hot dogs and beer.
What? That's false advertisement.
That's my rant
terrible
on that race. I think
so are you gonna do it again?
I had fun because we all suffered together. But that was terrible, and I was not prepared at all to be there. I should not have been there. And everybody was like eating me up, like, you needed to stay. I was like, I stayed my lines. I stayed out of the way. Like, I was safe as far as that. But just like skill wise, I wasn't prepared. But I was making sure I was staying out of everybody's way and not like going on weird sides of jumps and stuff, because that's something people were getting pissed about. I'm like, I didn't get in anybody's way, okay? But I only did like 2 laps.
Yeah. Well, but you guys,
it's supposed to be an 8-hour race.
You guys represented, and you know, even though it was hard, you guys still tried it. That speaks volumes. You know, how many women, I wonder, were inspired by that? You know, it's really hard to go out and just start a race, especially when you get somewhere and it feels overwhelming like that. Like, that is huge. The fact that you guys still did that, that's awesome.
It was crazy. It was fun though. We ended up like going like the casinos after, and we made the most of it. It was just so funny. It was like, what the hell did we get ourselves into? But I do want to try some more racing, but I want to try like desert or whatever. I don't want to do, I don't think I want to do track. Okay. I'm more afraid of jumping and stuff than I am roots and rocks and cliffs.
Yeah. I haven't really, I think I took my bike on like a kid's track one time when I was on my TTR, and it was like a baby kid's track. Like it was not anything crazy. But track scares me. I've been around motocross and supercross, and like as a spectator, watching some of those crashes is gnarly. And so like I've seen people get landed on, and so that terrifies me. Racing isn't something that like I'm very good at. I like it, but I'm not good at it. And so this weekend I'm doing my first enduro on a big bike. So the last time I tried to do an enduro, I was on my TTR, and it did not go well. It was when I first started riding, and it was not a good time.
That's how I felt too.
It was the last enduro. So technically I've tried twice. So I tried on my TTR the first time, like probably 6 months prior to the second one. And I was like, I DNF'd real quick. The second time so there was multiple factors to my DNF. So we had done, Graham Jarvis had a clinic, and it was like Saturday was the clinic, and then Sunday was the enduro, and it was like, come learn the skills to do the enduro and make it through, and blah, blah, blah. And you get to say you were in the same race as Jarvis. So that was cool. Had that experience, but I was so dead from 8 hours of clinic time with Jarvis, and like trying to figure out my clutch that I didn't really know what I was doing before that. And then having him like basically yelling at me the whole time. I'm like, you got to use your clutch more. You got to use your clutch more. I'm like, oh my God, my clutch went out on that bike actually after that weekend.
Oh my God.
I had to replace it.
Well, it sounds like you were using it.
I learned. But during the race, I came across a kid who had gone down, and he messed up his knee, and he was like crying and everything. And I was probably like 13 or 14 or something like that. So I was like, well, has anybody gone to get help? And they're like, I think so. I'm not 100%. So I went forward, and when I was getting to the end of that section, I ran into the paramedics, and they were very lost, and they were going the wrong direction. So I was like, okay, no, like this kid was in a lot of pain. So I was like, no, you got to go this way. And they were very lost. So I was like, okay, just follow me. And I took them back. So I DNF'd, but I was okay with that because one, it was helping somebody else. And two, I was tired. There was no way I was going to make it through another section. So I knew I was going to DNF anyway. So I was like, I'm just gonna call it. So that was my last one. That was 2 years ago, that I tried, and I haven't done an enduro since then. I did, previous to that, I had done a hare scramble again on the TTR. And since then, I have done a MotoGP type race. And then that was my first race on my bike. And then I've done hard enduro.
I want to find like a baby enduro to try. But I don't know.
Okay.
Like a little baby first one.
A baby first one.
Little baby first newbie one to try.
We'll have to put, I know there's a really good beginner one in Minnesota, but I don't know about Utah.
I should say West Coast.
I'll have to ask around and see what the best one is out here.
I only know the hard enduro races here, like Moab and stuff.
Oh, you don't want to do King of the Motos for your first race?
No. That would be like Gypsy all over, but times like 100.
Oh my God, dude. There's a bunch of people asking me if I'm doing King of the Motos this year, and I'm like, that one's, it is very visually intimidating.
Oh yeah, even just on the TV. Hell no.
On like, it's not even just visually intimidating. It's intimidating. I was hiking that stuff last year, because I was doing media at it last year, and I was scared. I was like, I cannot believe I'm going up some of this stuff right now on my feet. Like, I can't imagine what they're doing on their freaking bikes. Like, and Cody Webb even said, he was talking about, like, he's like, the section that you were on, he's like, that big slab afterwards, he's like, that thing was sketchy. I was like, yeah, it was like it's probably like a good 25, 30 feet of slab. And when the sand goes on it, it's just like ice. It's crazy. And it's downhill, and it is very steep downhill.
You've ridden on sandstone, haven't you? Have you ridden on Slick Rock yet?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, in Wonder Valley, you probably did. That stuff's trippy. It's like, it feels like you're on a road or something. As long as it doesn't have sand on it.
Yeah. There's some like granite stuff up in Northern California that's very similar. That it's really good traction, but if you get any dirt on it, it is no traction, and then you're slipping and sliding, and you're on a giant rock. So yeah, it's like a whole mountainside of rock, and then I slid a little bit. It was not fun. But
it's like really cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I love the fact that I'm really fortunate to have ridden in, I think it's now 15, maybe 16 states. So a lot of different terrain. And it's really awesome. I wish that everybody could do that, because I think it's the coolest thing ever. But I understand that there are limitations, and people aren't as crazy as I am and want to be everywhere all the time. So I get it.
I'd love to, but I can't do it right now in this stage of my life. Maybe a little later.
Yeah. If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go? If it was all expenses paid.
I really want to go to Iceland. I want to do that Iceland trip. I see the girls do that Iceland ride. It looks really fun. It's so beautiful out there. Mm-hmm. It's just like surreal. I see the photos, and a few girls I follow have gone out there.
Yeah. I met
so if anyone wants to pay for me to go.
I met my friend Anita at TKO, and she's from Iceland, and her mom actually ride hard enduro together. I think it's the coolest thing ever.
What?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Isn't that awesome? Like, so yeah, she got into it. Her mom is like, I think she said her mom is like, I want to say she's in her late 50s or 60s, and she's out there riding hard enduro. And Anita's like silver class, so she's like really high. She's like pro woman. But they're in Iceland, and they keep inviting me out, and I'm like, there's only so many times I'm gonna be able to say no. I need to go.
Yeah. I need to go. You'll love it. It's so cool.
I've always wanted to go to Iceland. I think it is one of the coolest places ever. But I just I've been trying to, like I said, save money for Romaniacs and all of this other travel that I've been doing. And so I'm just like, I really need to make it happen, because it's such a cool place. That'd be awesome.
Well, it's not going anywhere, so
hopefully.
I mean, there are a lot of volcanoes out there, but
that's exactly what I was gonna say. I was like, there's a lot of volcanoes, and that one is getting rumbly. So
I want to see the volcanoes. I want to see that too.
Dude, I think that it would be really cool to go in the wintertime and see the volcano erupting, like with the snow around it. I've seen pictures, and that looks like absolutely surreal. So I think that'd be awesome. But then I can't. Yeah, exactly. I can't go, and all of my travel these days is based around riding. So or races. So it's like it's got to be for a race or a ride, or I'm not going. Sorry.
Yeah. Dang it.
Like, yeah, I have a trip to go see my mom in November, and it's like a quick weekend trip. And I was like, I don't have a bike to ride out there. And she's like, you're going to be spending time with us. And I was like, okay. But so my TTR is at my brother's house.
Okay.
But it's not rideable. So I I'm trying to see if anybody in Minnesota wants to take my bike and fix it for me. Obviously, I will pay for it, but I can't physically do it from here. And it needs a lot of work before it can be ridden. It had gotten stolen at the tail end of me having it before I got the Husky. And the guy ruined the clutch cover. So it doesn't hold oil. And so it needs a new clutch, needs a new clutch cover, and then it's got to be rekeyed because he stole the key and lost it, I guess. So
man,
freaking. So
I would see how much it's gonna cost because you might just get a new one.
Well, yeah, it's.
I don't know how much those repairs are gonna cost versus just picking up another TTR.
Well, I didn't want a new TTR. That was the thing. Like, the whole point was I was actually going to replace. So this was right after the Jarvis Clinic. I was replacing the clutch when it got stolen. And in the middle of replacing it, like, I had been working on it to get the clutch cover off and everything because I was doing it by myself. I had never done it before. So I was, like, watching a YouTube video. And, like, it takes me forever to do anything because I want to make sure I'm doing it right. I didn't want to mess it up.
Yeah.
So I had everything set. I had my plates in the oil. And then I went to work the next morning. And I was like, okay, after work, I'm going to come back. I'm going to be able to put the plates in and I'll be able to close it up. And by this weekend, I'll be riding. And then I came home and my garage was open and my bike was gone. It was the only thing they stole.
Oh my God. With it wide open.
Yeah, I didn't have a ton of stuff, but I had some like workout, like weight bench equipment in there and stuff like that. And they left all of that, but yeah, so my bike was called Gary the Snail. So I put out this call and my buddy named us. He was like, hey, are you and Gary ever going to show up? And I was like, Gary?
That's so
Gary. He's like, your bike, Gary the Snail, because you guys are so slow. And I was like,
that's
wow. And then
yeah, I think Gary's cute.
He was my little old man. We just putted around. But yeah, it was so I put out on like Facebook and Instagram, I was like, you guys, Gary was stolen.
Gary's gone.
We got him back within like a week and a half. Like Minot PD was really great in North Dakota. They were able to find him. He stole it. My garage was being watched because I lived in an apartment. So there was cameras everywhere. So they watched him pick it up. They watched him put it in his truck and they watched him drive away and they got his license plate. So criminals aren't always smart. But yeah, so they got him, but I never got any money out of it. He's still actually going through the court process. He's supposed to have his 2 years later.
Oh my God.
He was supposed to have his whatever sentencing last month, and it didn't happen. They delayed it for whatever reason. So I've put in a quote. So it'll probably end up costing about $2,000 in labor and parts, which I think the bike is worth about that. But yeah, so I was like, this is sad. So I didn't get any money. And Gary's not rideable, but he exists still. So I still technically own him. But yeah, so
Gary's a nice bike to keep around though. If you have someone who wants to learn or something.
Exactly. And I do want to fix him up and kind of bring him on the road with me, which requires me getting a trailer because I can't fit 2 bikes on a trailer hitch on the back of my vehicle. So then that requires me to get a trailer, and that
you might as well just get a sprinter van,
a truck, and yeah, that's kind of where this is going. Like,
and then I gotta get a sprinter van because I'm traveling,
or a camper, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh my god,
that's what we have is a sprinter van.
Yeah, well, I need to get one. I need to get on it because
everybody's doing it.
the problem. Everybody's doing it. So all the vans are like $1 million. And I'm like, dude, I cannot afford this.
I know.
Like
the one we bought is very old.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I've been doing a lot of research because I'm like, I used to be really big into cars. So I'm like, I know that there's like certain things about certain year vehicles that you should look out for. So now I have to do all my research on vans. And so that's what I've been doing the past couple months is like researching vans, which one I want, which one I don't want, like what am I willing to deal with, and like what kind of work am I going to put into it and all of this. And this whole strong independent woman thing sucks sometimes.
Yeah.
I just had to do the struts on my Highlander, and I was like, dude, I was telling my buddy this. I was like, I hate this. I was like, I used to be married to a mechanic. I used to just go, oh, it's making a weird noise, and he is fixed like the next day. So
I am pretty lucky with Kyle. I was actually upset because my bike wasn't magically cleaned after my ride, so now I have to do it. I usually let it sit because I know he'll get fed up and he'll clean it. Because I don't care as much as he does. Because he's like, we have to wash it every single ride. Doesn't matter if we're riding the next day, we have to wash it. I'm like, it's a dirt bike for a reason. So he didn't ride it this time to prove a point, and I've got to wash it now.
Aww.
Like, dang it.
I used to be that way where like I would try to, well, because I used to ride every day, and so I would wash it once a week if I went through a lot of mud. And now I live in the middle of the desert, and the shop does not have a concrete floor, so it's all dirt. So I made the mistake of trying to wash the bike the first time I was here.
Oh my gosh.
The bike was still, because I washed it, and then I came back, and I live down a dirt road, and I got back and I was like, I don't even know why I did that. Like, there was no point. It looks way worse now. And it was like basically like putting a magnet on my bike, and it was just like all the dust. So yeah, I love where I live. I do. I just wish there was a little bit less dust.
Yeah.
But I'm very, very spoiled. I am so spoiled here. Like, I have a huge shop. He has millions of tools that are at my disposal. He's taught me so much stuff for like working on my bike, working on my car. He's taught me how to use equipment. So he's letting me build like an enduro cross section on the property. What? And he's like, you can invite your friends over if you want. So if you want, you can come out and come in. When I finish it, you can come out and ride. And
that's badass.
I'm doing like levels for it. So like on the logs, like half of the log is going to have like dirt leading up and like ramped on both sides. And then the other half is going to be like scooped out kind of. Yeah. So that way I can go on one side, but then as I progress in my skill level, either I can do the other side, or I can have my friends who are actually good who come over. They can do the other side. So
yeah, smart.
I have giant tires. I just got Rob said that he's got some telephone poles that we're going to put into it. So we're going to create like a matrix. And so it's going to be really cool. I'm super, super spoiled because like who gets to do all of this stuff at a rented property? Like,
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I can't complain about the dust. Like I don't have a bike ferry, but I got it made. So
yeah. That's cool.
But yeah. So you talked about working out a little bit ago, and I wanted to go back to that because I'm really big on that. What do you do for your workouts, and are they at all like riding focused, or have you just kind of always done that?
I've been doing CrossFit for 11 years.
Wow.
I actually used to compete a little bit just for fun. Like, I'm not any pro or anything, but I've always been like interested in competing, and I like the atmosphere. And that used to be my dopamine hit, was CrossFit. And that was my scary thing that got me out of my comfort zone. But then I started to like, I mean, it's been 10 years and I'm like, well, I've done about everything here. And then I ran into dirt bikes and I'm like, okay, this is my new hit. My new adrenaline to chase after. But yeah, I do CrossFit. They call it functional fitness. And I agree. Like everything I feel like I do translates in some way to like my lifestyle, whether it's like backpacking or hiking or riding or, so I don't do riding specific workouts, but I'm training almost every part of my body. And I feel like working out itself helps with like your recovery, your body being able to take those impacts when you crash. Your bone density is a lot better if you're working out too. And like, knock on wood, I have had some nasty crashes and I've been fine. So which I shouldn't have been. I shouldn't have been, but I really accredit it to CrossFit because my body is strong and it was able to take it. So take the impact.
That's good.
Because I've fallen down 2 ravines so far, which was not cool, and it was really scary, and I should not like have been okay, and I was fine. So
I had a similar,
especially at my age too. I'm like, I'm not a kid anymore. Like I'm not rubber. So
I think you're still younger than me, so but I completely understand. Like, I had the same thing. I fell almost 30 feet off of a cliff, and I like should not have been okay. And the guy behind me was like, "I thought you were dead." But I popped right back up because he watched my bike bounce on me, and he's like, he saw something come off. My GoPro had gotten ripped off of my helmet. He thought my helmet got ripped off because he couldn't see me. So
it was terrifying to watch too.
The one section, it's like a 40-foot section of like a cliff to the left, and I just hit a rock and it came out of the ground and it threw me. And it was one of my first times riding single track, so I didn't know what I was doing, and there was a lot of just not good decisions that day, I guess. But I dislocated my middle finger.
Oh my gosh.
I just
you're like my finger.
It was my middle finger and my thumb, and so like I didn't realize they were dislocated until like a little while later. But it was like it was like another 20-ish miles after that, and we got back to the car, and I was definitely feeling it, but I was like, I can't believe I didn't break anything. Well, come to find out, a dude, I don't know if it was a year or 2 years before, had fallen in the exact same spot, and he got life flighted out. He broke broke ribs, he broke his neck, he broke his arm, he was messed up. So I was like super, super lucky.
Yeah.
And like you said, for how old I am, I've been really lucky so far as well. So I
also wear all the gear. So I advocate for all the gear all the time, everybody.
So knee pads, you never know. Pads.
Yeah, I wear knees, I wear elbows. Huh?
Do you wear like those jackets that have the armor, or do you have like a chest protector?
No, I actually was trying a bunch on because I went like the first 2.5 years with no chest protector, and I just was pushing my luck. I know, I was like, okay, I'm done pushing my luck now, because I kept looking at the price tag and pushing it off, which should not be a reason to push it off, but it was, whatever. So eventually I'm like, okay, I'm getting into harder and harder stuff. I need to take this seriously. I've got to get a chest protector. So I went to Rocky Mountain ATV. I tried on like the full body ones that you just zip up and stuff, but they just felt weird. And like the spandex kept riding up my belly. And I was like, this is not cute, and it does not feel good. So I ended up with the Liat, is it called Airflex, I think, with the red squishy stuff in it, or Reflex, REA Flex, the Liat one, and it's like it's a chest protector, but it's not hard. It's like kind of squishy stuff. Because I had seen the Jackie one that most girls have.
The harder one.
It's a hard plastic. And I was like, I don't think that's really very comfortable. So I got this one, and it's made out of a certain type of material that when on impact, it like hardens.
Yeah.
So I got that one, and I really like it a lot. Yeah. They also sell the elbows too. I don't have those elbows. I have hard elbows. So
yeah, I have hard elbows.
I have hard elbows, knee shin guards, and then the chest protector helmet. So
okay. So you're all
and then now I have a Thor helmet, and Thor boots, but my chest protector, yeah.
My first pair of boots were secondhand, and they were Thor, and I loved them.
My first pair was Thor too. Yeah,
I loved them. They were fantastic.
I wonder if they're the same pair I had.
Probably not, because they were old at that time, and that was like 5-6 years ago. And because I didn't ever ride, I rode maybe 4 hours a year for those first like 3 or 4 years. And so I almost never rode. So they lasted forever. And then finally I started really riding, and I had to buy a pair of new ones, and I wanted to buy Thor. But I couldn't find them in stock. So I got the Alpine Star Tech 3s, because that's all they could find that could fit me. And then this last time around, I hadn't been able to find my size in the Alpine Stars. So I was like, well, I'll go back to Thor, because I have a Thor like gear bag. My chest protector is actually a Thor chest protector. And so I was like, I'll try and like kind of match a little bit. And so I bought the boots, and the boots did not fit. They weren't even close to being able, like the foot part fit. But I have child-size feet and not child-size calves. Yeah. So the calf portion, like, was probably a good 3 or 4 inches from even the Velcro just getting together. And I was like, seriously? Because they were, like, really nice boots. And
it's a bummer.
It really sucks, because women have a really hard time. A lot of women can't just go out and buy whatever boot they want. Mm-hmm. They have a lot of restrictions that we have to overcome. So,
and there aren't really a lot of places to try them on either. So I see all kinds of posts, like girls looking for gear. Like, have you found boots that work for you? What have you find that works for a woman body? What kind of kits do you wear? Because like, I'm lucky. I'm like Rocky Mountain. I usually can go find like protection parts and stuff there and try them on in person, but a lot of people just have to order online and hope for the best. So
I actually, my Thor boots that I ordered are sitting right over here. So I work basically mail, like post office hours, so I have not been able to get to the post office to return those boots, so they're still
oh man.
I'm probably just gonna have to put them up on like Facebook Marketplace and sell them that way. I
do feel like yours come a long way, but I think there's still some room for improvement and feedback from the community to these brands. I think, especially like sizing and calves and people with small feet, and some people have bigger feet, and
I think it's just a lack of awareness. I think it's that women are so new in so many motorsports that it's not been a thing. Women in motorsports have been niche all this time, right? There's like that one random woman every now and then who does this stuff. But now it's started to grow. Just in the last 5 years, it's gotten huge with women. I think I saw, I don't remember who put it out. I don't think it was Rocky Mountain ATV, but it was somebody like that who put out some stats that said like, in the last 5 years, women in motorsports has grown like 40% or something like that. And that's a huge growth. Like, and it's fantastic.
I think having gear we can wear is encouraging too. Like, but Thor does have some awesome kits right now.
Yeah, but I think it's lagging, like you said. I think that a lot of the times what brands will do is just scale down their men's stuff, and they think that will work.
Yeah. I'm glad to see more women, but I think like they just, like you said, for a while it hasn't been on their radar, and now they're like, okay, we got to catch up because now women are coming into the scene and they need stuff. And it's been cool to see what people have put out, what brands have put out. So I'm excited to see what's to come and see how things evolve.
I'm super excited. I can't really release details yet, but I have been working on a boot project. We talked about that at SMX. And so I've been working on this project for about a year for women's boots, trying to get more options for women to have safer boots, because there are women who, like me, have small feet, but they have bigger calves. And so there are literally women out there who are duct taping their boots shut every single time they go ride, or zip tying them. And that's dangerous.
But and especially when you spent hundreds of dollars on a boot and then it doesn't even work for you and you have no other option.
That's the thing. There's no other option. So I thankfully found somebody who is willing to listen and who has honestly been a champion for women. And I think it's really, really great. I cannot wait to release who it is and like what company it is and everything. But it's huge. It's huge to have somebody walk into a boardroom and say, hey, let's talk about this women's stuff. And, you know that this person is really like that passionate, because we've had a face-to-face conversation, and that was just the coolest thing, just to see his passion, just talking to me about it. And then to know he turned around and is making it happen. That's amazing. But it takes the awareness. It takes talking about our problems. And, there's things that women are afraid to talk about. Women are afraid to, not all women, but a lot of women are afraid to bring up problems. They don't want to say, hey, this doesn't work for me, because then, well, what if I'm not invited because I don't have the right stuff, or things like that. And there's a lot.
Or looking like we're too picky, or needing special things or whatever.
Exactly.
It's like, no, we're not picky. We just want basics. That y'all have for years.
I want a boot that's safe. And I've been that annoying person. There's a Facebook group called Everything Dirt. And there's all these guys going, oh, well, I can't decide. Do you guys think that this boot or this boot has a better enduro sole? Because like I've been using this one, and I mean, it's okay, but I feel like there's better. And I'm like, I've been commenting lately, and I'm like, a lot of people don't get these options. Like, you are so lucky to have like 50,000 options. Like, men can, not all men, to be fair, but a lot of men can just go online and order a pair of boots, and they can order it in pretty much any color you can think of, and they can just get it delivered like right away. And that's freaking, it sounds so silly, because this is definitely first world problems, but not all women can do that. And there's a good portion of women actually that can't do that. So I just like, I've started saying it on those posts, and I feel kind of weird about it, but I'm just trying to raise awareness, because the more people that are talking about this and that are aware of it, you don't know who works for these companies and who's going to see that and maybe actually take it seriously.
Yeah, we need that awareness, and we need advocates. So thank you for that.
Yeah, and thank you.
I'm willing to help too.
You help with women a lot, and you're constantly like taking women out for rides and just so supportive of women in general. And I think that that's huge. A lot of people think that women can be really catty to each other, and it's true. I mean, we have times where we can be, but I think in the off-road community, for the most part, it's amazing women who are just trying to build each other up. And I feel like the ones that I personally have run into who aren't building other women up are at least just keeping to themselves. So they're not tearing anyone down. So that's at least improvement. No one's being super catty and like, being crazy or anything. So I think that that's good.
I think that, I don't know, I have some of my closest friendships through it too, because we're just like going through this crazy shit together every time we ride.
Yeah, exactly.
It forms those bonds, and it's like, I can't believe we did that. You almost died.
It's
just wild. And for me, as like at another layer of this, as a mom doing all this too, it's like, it helps me have like my identity. I'm not just a mom, and I'm not just, you know, some girl who goes to work and goes home. Like, I have a whole life, whole another identity. Like, I'm a cool mom. I'm out there like being a girl and doing something for me. Because when I'm out there, I'm not thinking about anything else besides what I'm doing and who I'm with. Because most of the time when I'm riding, I'm just trying to survive. So I'm not thinking about my kids. I'm not thinking about what's for dinner. I'm not thinking about, you know, bills or bullshit in the world. Like, I'm there, I'm on my bike, I'm having fun with my friends, and then I go back to it. So that's another reason I love it.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest positives about riding is that you have to be present. If you're not present, I mean, I know I've gone in with a bad headspace before, and I've, you know, had so many stupid mistakes. And once I get out of that headspace and I get my mindset right, then it's all good. But like I said, I realized that I can't ride with somebody that, you know, I'm like super into or whatever. Like, well, at least I can't have them coaching me.
Yeah.
But I mean, I ride with a lot of dudes, so I'm sure eventually it'll come around to it. We're not gonna talk about that. Anyway,
dirt bike dudes are hot. Okay, we get it.
It's gonna get cut from the podcast. Anyway, there are some very good-looking dirt bikes.
Let's talk about Ken Roxon again.
Yeah, let's talk about Ken Roxon. He's very good-looking dirt biking guy.
And he's a dad. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Oh,
I think it's really awesome. I think it's awesome to see parents do this. Like you said, maintain your own identity and to be able to do this and have fun and go out and do your thing. But I also think it's cool too when you see families doing it together when your kids are into it. Your kids aren't into it, and that's totally cool. We still like them. But you know, there are families like the Brady camps in Iowa. The two brothers got into dirt biking, and they actually quit drinking. And they started putting the drinking money into dirt bikes, and their kids are all riding now. And so their wives ride, like their whole family rides. And
where's that at?
Now,
what state?
In Iowa.
Oh, in Iowa. Okay.
And their kids have now kind of taken that up, and their kids invite people to come over and ride because they've got like an enduro cross track thing in their yard. Cool. So they invite kids over to ride, and like it gives kids, because these kids are like 14, 15, 16, something like that. And that, you know, kind of troublemaking time range. But these kids are staying off the streets. They're not doing anything, you know, that, you know, some people would go out and party and stuff like that at that age, but these kids are so into riding, and that's all they want to do, and they want everybody that they know to do that. So they're getting all these other kids to get into riding, and I think that that's really cool, because I don't think that they really see that as being as beneficial as it is to an entire community. But it gives kids a place to go, and not every kid has something like that to do. Yeah. You know, when I was growing up, if I had people who had invited me over to ride dirt bikes, I would have been there in a heartbeat. That's all I wanted to do growing up, but I never got to do it until I was almost 30. So.
Yeah, that's another thing, is learning these sports in your 30s. It's crazy. Because I have like, you know, you have like all these fears now. When you're a kid, you just send it and hope for the best. And you're an adult, you're like, wait a minute, I've got to work on Monday, and I probably should chill.
I was talking.
At least for me, I'm like, I gotta work on Monday. I'm gonna skip this feature today.
I was talking to one of the kids recently. I don't remember which one it was, but he said something about, oh yeah, I remember when I was that height and that size and how hard it was. And he's like, and then I got older, this and that and whatever.
He said that to you?
Like, yeah. He's like 16.
I'm not growing.
I was like, yeah, exactly. I was like, I don't have that advantage. Like, this is it, man. There's no more.
That's all I got. There's no more. That's why he wants to get up that early.
that's the thing, is that's a lot of kids these days want to play video games or be on TikTok or whatever. And that's perfectly fine. But these kids that are in hard enduro and in enduro cross are freaking kicking butt. Those kids I was talking about in Iowa, those kids go to school, they all work, they all do sports, and they all train for hard enduro. Like, that's insane work ethic for a 15, 16-year-old. Like, but that's a huge thing. Like, those two, the Brady Camp boys in Iowa. Then there's the Alcalas, who are also in Iowa. There's, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to think of all their names. There's McConna Barger and Cole Clarkson and Chase DeLong. And like, so many of these kids, they're freaking 13, 14, 15. And they are all on the same level, all working hard, all trying to get like improvement in their riding. And instead of video games, instead of all of these things that a teenager should typically be doing. And I think it's so inspiring. And it's really funny because like, they're half my age, but I think it's one of the coolest things. So
yeah, it's really cool to see.
I pull inspiration from everybody that I meet in off-road because it's so awesome. And I get so hyped just watching people like get over their fears, whether it's a tiny feature that you're just learning and oh my God, it's one little rock. No, it's a huge rock to you. Like, it is so cool that you push yourself and did that. Your climb on your race, like, that was the most terrifying thing you ever did. I bet if you went back now, though, you would see it completely different.
I thought about it. I'm like, I should go back and try that thing again because
you should.
I think I could do it now.
Yeah. And like we were talking about the progression, like being able to see that benchmark and kind of see, how you've improved and everything. And I think that that's huge to be able to like give you more confidence.
Maybe. I'm pretty sure I could do it on that 300. At this point, but the downhill would still suck. That downhill is so bad.
I think you could do it. I want to like look up videos of this downhill now. Like, I need to see it.
I'll send it to you. It's nuts. Yeah, even the men who were racers were complaining about that hill. That's probably the hardest feature.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love taking girls out for rides now who are just starting out too, because I feel like I can like pass on what people did for me when I was first starting out and just being kind and patient and helping them and like showing them how much fun they could have. So I love doing that.
It's going back to the atmosphere of women's rides. Women's rides are just, like you said, there's no pressure. And for me personally, I don't feel like I'm at a level where I can really coach or like, teach. There's like one or two little things that I know that made my life easier. Like learning how to not fall under the bike. I learned how to kind of like jump off of it and stay on top of it. So most of the time I end up on top. But like little things like that. But the biggest thing that anyone can do for anyone who's new riding, in my opinion, is to just be patient and take them out and let them get seat time
and teach them how to have fun with it.
Yeah.
Me and Kyle, like, one of our phrases we say is like, if we're starting to have a bad time or if someone's in a bad mood, we're like, dirt bikes are supposed to be fun. Like, if we're not having fun, then why are we out here? We can call it. If you're not having fun anymore, like, there's a limit. Like, I know you got to get a little uncomfortable. There's some things you got to just suck it up and get through it. But overall, we're there to have fun. We're not racing. Like, we're just out on a trail on the mountain. It's like, we're not having fun. We'll just turn around and go home. It's not a big deal. Yeah. So if someone's struggling on the trail, we're like, whatever, we'll turn around. We'll go back if you're not having a good time. So,
yeah. No, I think that's great. I think that it's really important to also remember where we came from. And I think the off-road community is really, really good about remembering that and being humble. So I think it's really cool. If you could sum up in like 10 seconds, roughly, your best advice for somebody who's new to dirt biking, other than what you just said about the fun.
Should it be like motivational or like technique stuff?
Up to you. What do you wish somebody had told you when you first started? The feel like the most important thing.
Give me just a second.
It's a hard question.
In 10 seconds without ranting.
I mean, you can rant a little bit. Just the idea is like to go like for like 45 minutes.
Okay. If I would give them advice when they're first starting out, I would say get all your gear before you even go out there. Don't stress. Keep breathing. Have fun. Seat time is the most important.
Yes. Seat time makes a huge, huge difference.
Yeah. Everybody learns at their own pace. Yes. Don't compare yourself to anybody. I think that probably would be my number one at the very top of this list I just said. Don't compare yourself to anybody. Because that like robs any joy you've had with your progress. You have to look at your progress.
Yeah. I have a really, really hard time with that one because of the people that I ride with. They are really, really good riders. And I have lately been told several times that I'm a better rider than I think I am. And I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, I can't do the stuff Cody does. I can't do the stuff Mitch does. And they're like, no, but you can do a lot more than you think you can. And I'm like, I feel like you're lying. But I've been told that multiple times now in the past few weeks. And I'm like, okay, they can't all be lying because like all these people don't even know each other. So like they're not all in on it. You know what I mean? But it's because I compare myself to the boys. And, you know, the stuff that they do is the stuff that I want to do. And for the most part, Cody does some stuff that I don't think I'm ever going to want to do because he's insane.
But you're comparing yourself to someone who's been riding for how many years versus you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's 6 feet tall.
He's not, but yes.
Who's a man, not a woman.
Yeah.
Like, it's completely different. I just have to remind myself. And even if it is, because I've seen people and I'm like, well, they've only been riding a year and look at what they're doing. It's like, well, Amber, they have more time on their hands and they're able to get more seat time and you're not because you're a mom who works full time and can only ride like every other weekend. So there's factors that you don't know about people. So don't judge, don't compare. Everybody's out there to have fun.
People think that about me. They're like, all you do is ride. And I'm like, what? No. I mean, I do get to ride like 4 or 5 times a week, sometimes 6 times a week. But like literally most of my riding is within 2 minutes of my house. Like I live in the middle of nowhere. So there's rocks everywhere to practice on. You know, so I can go out for 20 minutes and go practice. But that's not always been the case, first of all. And second of all, I still work. I work a 40-hour job. I do this podcast, which takes up a significant amount of my time during the week. I have projects like this boot project that I'm working on and other things. I do a lot. And I also have a second job. I do part-time as a ranch hand. So like you know, there's a lot of stuff that I'm doing.
There's a lot of factors. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have to think the same thing. The fact that I've been able to progress as much as I have while doing all of this other stuff is incredible. But I still get hard on myself sometimes because I do compare myself. So the fact that you said that is just like, that's my favorite moment. Because
I need to remind myself a lot too. It's not as easy as it sounds, especially on social media.
Yes. Social media makes it so hard. When I started posting, I was fully prepared to get the onslaught of anger that you were getting. And I have been really lucky to not get a whole lot of it so far. I don't know if it's because I have a lot smaller audience. I haven't gone viral like you, so maybe that's why. But you went viral in like the moto community, and I feel like moto people are a little bit more critical online. That's my experience.
I don't know. It really has only been a handful of posts where they were just jerks for no reason. But otherwise, everybody's been pretty supportive. Like, everybody's like, oh, your DMs must be full of like nasty people. I'm like, actually, it's not. I don't know if I'm lucky, but everyone who messages me or whatever is actually really cool and respectful. So just those couple of posts, people just went freaking nuts and thought I should be chewed out, apparently.
That's so crazy.
And Kyle's like, stop reading the comments. Stop reading them. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I've only had a couple weird ones, and like I said, they haven't even really been that bad. So, I used to do video game streaming, and the comments on there would get very bad very quickly. So I am no stranger to those kinds of comments. But so far, the off-road community has been really, really great and supportive. So I think it's really cool because
pros, like the good people by far outweigh the bad people I've come across. Like, and like I said, like I keep posting those things and those vulnerable moments because I want girls to see like what it looks like to be going through those things. And it's not all like perfect trails and perfect jumps and perfect this and that. Like people screw up, people cry, people cuss. Like dirt bikes are hard.
It's real.
They're fun, but they're hard.
Exactly. I never wanted to be like, and that's what I loved about Northwest Woods Women, and that's what I love about Northeast Hard Enduro Women on Instagram. Those groups, the women who run those groups are all about making sure that it's real. It is not all about just the highlight reel. It is about showing that this is hard. You're putting in work. You're having fun, and probably the most fun you're ever going to have, but it's not easy, and we all fall. And, that was one of the biggest things that, like, when Micaiah and Michaela and Jaden and all of them, they started posting, they were posting their crashes. And I was like, these women are posting themselves crashing. Well, that's a huge stigma. And that was hard for me to get over when I first started riding, is that, like, I didn't want people to see me crashing because, like, oh, then they're going to just think I'm just this girl who can't do it, and they're not going to invite me. And then seeing these women who I would look up to, posting their crashes, I was like, oh, they crash too. Okay. And I think it's really cool. And it sounds weird, but like, Jarvis posts his crashes all the time. And it's the same thing because he wants to make sure that people know he's not perfect, and he'll be the first person to tell you that. But
that's a way to make it fun and laugh it off too. So you can just make funny videos of your crashes.
Exactly.
I love doing that. Just kind of poke fun at myself and laugh it off because everybody else has been in that situation too. So what's the worst that could happen? Who cares?
And that's why I post my struggles a lot. And not necessarily crashes, because a lot of the times they don't look like anything because I'm so small. It just looks like beep. Like, but I post my struggles. I post me, freaking out before I go down a hill, or I post me, struggling in a section or not able to get up the hill or whatever, because it's a learning experience. And I think it's really important to be real about that stuff. I do post the stuff that, it looks cool or whatever, or it could maybe potentially look cool one day if I could figure it out.
Like, you go through some gnarly stuff. I've seen your videos.
That's what I'm saying. Like, some of the stuff that I do is out of my skill set, and I'm still trying to do it, and so it doesn't look quite as cool. Or like, I think it's really cool because, like, I can crawl through this rock section, right? Like, I can go slow and I can make it through. And to me, that's good. And I've had a lot of improvement in said section. But then I go out with somebody. I found somebody local finally who rides the same stuff as me. And he flew through that section like it was nothing. And I was like, okay.
But for me, it's like, there's a woman probably watching your videos who's like, I have the same bike as her. And then she's like, whoa, look what she was able to do with that bike. Oh, and she's short like me too. I can do this.
Yeah.
So
I've actually had several women who were like, who DM'd me and asked me questions about my bike because they were like, okay, I'm actually taller than you, but I was told not to get a bigger bike. And they were told that the beta.
I could rant about that. Jesus. About
the
whole
beta's the best bike and that only women should be on this and blah, 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 whatever. Like, I understand.
That's what I go off in the comments with dudes on those Facebook groups because they're like, what's a good girl bike? What's a good... I'm like... Yeah. That's why I made that one video. I was like, you can ride a big bike, okay? You can do it. Yeah. Like, yeah, you should start on a short one if you're a beginner, but you can have a big bike.
I don't feel like, personally, I don't feel like everybody should be on a big bike. I don't, because there are a lot of people who aren't comfortable with being on a bike that big, don't have the strength to lift a bike that big. You know, there's a lot of factors to it. You know, flexibility, all of these things. I don't feel like it's just a blanket thing. Everybody should be on a Husqvarna. Like, that'd be cool. But, you know, I think that for me, that's the bike that worked the best for what I wanted to do. I understand it's a big bike for me. I understand a lot of people don't like watching it, that they think that I should get a smaller bike and all of these things. I've been told this stuff multiple times and it's hard to hear. And I get it, but I'm also really stubborn. I have a lot of money into this bike, so I'm not about to change it. But it's also the bike that I like. I have ridden multiple bikes. I have ridden many different kinds of bikes. I think the only kind of bike I haven't ridden at this point is a Sherco, but I've been on the back of one.
You can try mine.
So yeah, I might, yeah, when we get out there, I probably will, just to say that I tried it. But
just to say you've had one.
I've tried several betas and I just feel super awkward with their platform. It just feels weird to me. And the clutch feels off. And, you know, that was before I even got my bike. And it was just a little bit off to me. So when I rode a Husqvarna for the first time, it was the same thing as my bike, just a little bit older. I loved it. It felt super smooth. I kept riding other bikes and I still kept going back to the TEs. And I was like, I really like this platform. Like, this is what feels best for me. It feels the most balanced. And, you know, I liked the clutch engagement. That's ultimately why I decided to go with my bike, because that's what felt best to me. And that's why I tell people, like, it's not about necessarily about how tall you are, because you can lower the bike. You know, there's different things that you could adjust on every single bike. So just go out and try and find what feels good to you. And that's the most important thing, in my opinion.
Yep.
But you should never let anybody tell you to do something because you're short or because you're a girl. Like, this is the bike that girls ride. No, that's the most enraging thing ever.
I know. Ugh.
We don't have we have limitations. Yes, we are smaller than men in most cases. I understand those things on a biological standpoint. I get that. But we are also very capable. And I think that if somebody like me can go from being the opposite of athletic and, you know, being able to do what I have done in the last couple of years and become the endurance athlete that I've become, if I can do that, there's nothing special about me. There's no like family lineage of athletes. Like, I don't think anybody in my family was like an athlete like this before. And, you know, it's just determination. It is sheer willpower. I wanted to do hard enduro before I even had a dirt bike. So I'm going to do it. And that's it. There's nothing special. I have every disadvantage. But if I can do it, anyone can.
True dat.
So, anyway, in our last couple minutes here, I wanted to ask, do you have any shout outs or thank yous?
I have probably like 20 minutes worth of shout outs and thank yous.
And
is this like people and brands or just people or what?
Whatever you want. It's your time.
Northwest Woodswoman was one of the first like groups that I really connected with, like when they very first opened their page. And they always like are resharing my posts, like they're always engaging. They're all such sweet girls, and I don't even live out there, and it's really cool. So shout out to them. You have been like a hype woman. I didn't even know you. I feel like you've been messaging me like since I began, honestly. You said a year, but I feel like it's been longer. And I was like, I don't even know this girl. And she's like my #1 hype person on Instagram. So that was cool. And I like paid it forward to other girls too, because like the energy was contagious. So there's a few other girls who've started groups, like the one back east that got started. There's a Utah Moto Woman group that is where I met all my friends. Alexis Jensen is like the girl who helped me find all of my people. She's like at the top of the triangle because she was already in this Facebook group. And she was like, you should meet this friend of mine. And then I met that friend, and that friend introduced me to other friends and other friends and other friends. And then like it just kind of became part of the whole state of dirt bike girls. So that's cool. Brands started reaching out to me, which I was like, who am I? Why do they even want me? I was like, I must be doing something right. This is really cool. Like I feel like important and a part of stuff. So Gravitas is one that I'm working with. Insta360 has been awesome. Their cameras are badass. That's what I was talking about with the closest thing to showing the angles right now is their cameras. Recently partnered with Thor on their women's gear, like we were talking about. And I just tried on all the kits they sent me, and they fit so good. They feel so good. I'm going to try out the helmet and stuff this weekend. Oxbow is the one I use for my light. They're cool. The Trailbound Ladies, that's a really cool group too. That's been awesome on my journey through all of this. So lots of good brands for women that are up and coming, and it's been really fun talking to them and connecting with them, and just showing more face for women, more like of the trail side of things too. I feel like a lot of stuff is heavy motocross. So showing like women on trails and in enduro has been fun, and meeting those brands. And
that's cool.
Rocky Mountain ATV is cool. I always got to shout them out because my boyfriend works there. But that's where I had all my gear until like now.
I said Rocky Mountain ATV is very cool in my opinion. I like them.
So
a huge shout out to Dylan at Trailbound Ladies. She is such a hype woman too. You want to talk about like somebody who's behind you? That woman is behind women, especially in hard enduro. Oh my God, she's incredible. She's been trying to get me to do races because my whole thing this last year was that I was going to race East Coast and I was going to do media West Coast. So she's like, I think you're ready. Because it's all exposure. And I was like, I can't do this exposure thing. She's like, I think you're ready. I think you got this. Like, I think you could do it. I'm like, you've never even like ridden with me. And at this point, I hadn't met her. Like, we were just talking on Instagram, and she's just like, no, you totally got this. Like, I believe in you. And I'm like, all right, I kind of believe in myself now. So like, when you talk about a hype woman, yeah, definitely. Like, I totally get that. And I always say, like, I feel like dirt bikes have given me so much happy, and like I just want to pass that along. If I could bottle it up and give it to people, I would, but I don't know how to do that. So all I can do is pass on excitement. I can be excited for people when they do stuff. I can just like be super happy. Like when you're eating your nerds on the top of the mesa, like I can be super stoked for you. You know, it's a gorgeous, gorgeous scenery to be eating some nerds at. I still think that you should pursue that sponsorship. Like
I've tagged them. They haven't said anything. Give me some nerds. I want some more nerds. You wouldn't believe the people that have been so concerned about my health because of that.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Like, I love eating bugs. Get over it.
Yeah, it's hilarious. But
yeah, it's like we need more of the positivity. We need more positivity. So thanks for that. Thanks for being a part of that. Because And that's what I love about the women, because I was telling you, like, I think maybe out of the 3 years, I've had maybe 2 comments from women that were rude.
Yeah.
Everybody else is just like, you're great. You look awesome. You're doing a good job. Yeah. Like, and I try to get on and like go through people's comments and do the same thing to them when I see I'm liking everybody's stuff.
Yeah.
So if I see you liking, like, if you see me liking every single story, I'm just on a roll for the day.
I think it's really important to support each other. I think that and I do the same thing for not just women, just, you know, in general, anybody that I really connect with. I'm going to be your biggest supporter if I connect with you. And that's just how I've always been. And some people aren't used to that. And they're like, what do you want? I'm like, I literally don't want anything. Like, I'm excited for you. Like, you did something cool and I got to see it, especially if it's in person. I'm like super stoked for people. Like, I may not be the person who's out there wooing and yelling, but I am like super stupid happy for you. If I'm with you and I'm seeing you do something, I'm just really quiet in person. Like, I am very introverted. So it's a lot for me to like talk to people in a social setting, even out when we're riding. But I do what I can. And I try and tell people how good that they did on the ride and make sure that everybody feels like, you know, welcome and feels good. Because that's what it's all about, is feeling good and being happy.
I keep talking about the women because that's like what I'm most passionate about with this sport. But I've met some really awesome guys too, like who have gone on trails with me. They've never met me before. And like you said, with your folks, like they were patient. They helped me through obstacles. Like I've gone on rides when my boyfriend's out of town and I've gone with other friends and there's guys there and they like help me through features. And so I've met some really supportive, awesome men too in this community. So it's been great. It's been really fun to see. I don't think you can see that in every sport where it's co-ed like that. And so it's cool.
And so supportive. Yeah. I think the men of off-road are really, really great. And it was really funny. Side tangent before we get off here. I had a friend who posted something about like, men suck or something like that. She was going through a breakup. And I was like, I think you're just hanging out with the wrong dudes. Because like, I've met so many guys in the last couple years and they're all freaking amazing. Like minus like 1 or 2, but like for the most part, they're fantastic. Like they will be out there helping you. Like they're going to give the shirt off their back for you. Like they're awesome. And I was telling her this and she's like, where did you meet all these guys? I was like, dirt bikes. I was like, girl, you got to get into dirt bikes. And she was just like, huh. She's like,
you can ride Gary.
I have a friend who rides, and I was like, yeah, you should go ride their bike.
Link up with them.
Get your own. And then she's back in, I think she's in Minnesota. She might be in Montana. I don't remember. She goes back and forth. But anyway, I was like, yeah, no, dude, like you're just hanging out with the wrong dudes, because like the guys in off-road are freaking awesome. So that's just my tangent. Just
those internet trolls are the ones that are nasty, but everybody I've met in person has been awesome. Yeah, so
exactly. So people suck online, but that's in anything. I mean, that's you know, you could post a picture of your dog, and there's going to be people who are like, "Oh, that dog breed is terrible," and blah blah blah. There's always going to be haters for everything. So
it's true. Speaking of, I'm petting mine because she won't leave me alone.
I was going to say, I see you're petting a puppy.
She's like, are you done yet?
Thumbnail. It's going to be the thumbnail for this episode. It's your puppy. Well, thank you so much for doing this. I'm so glad we got to sit down and finally chit chat. I mean, we got to chit chat at Vegas too, but in a recorded setting where I can share this with people and prove that I actually talked to you.
Yeah, it's been a blast. Thanks for chatting with me.
Yeah,
it's like the most socialization I've had this week. So
I totally feel you. I've been locked in the lab, so I get it. Hopefully,
thanks for having me. That was exciting.
Soon. Yeah, I'll see you in the desert soon.
Yeah, we'll be out there with all that red rock.
Yes, I love that.
Crashing and laughing together.
I love it. I love it. All right, well, we'll talk to you later.
Okay, see ya.
Okay, bye.